Hello, Joe Gaming Girl here. So I got some footage coming up in a minute in CEX. Retro collecting doesn't have to be expensive, and we find some cheap games in CEX. I don't go to any other game shop. It was just a quick little, you know, just showing you of the titles that you can get. Good, decent titles that are cheap or relatively cheap. Yeah, because it really doesn't have to be expensive. You can find, get a great retro collection without spending loads and loads and loads and loads. Like I say, the in-between games, the ones aren't so popular, and there's cheaper consoles to collect for. But yeah, I'll show you that footage now, and I've got a little bit that I want to say, talk about the whole the videos on YouTube about I'm done, I quit videos. So a little bit more on that. And yeah, just want to show that it really doesn't have to be expensive. It's only expensive if you make it expensive, really, and you want those top games, those real expensive ones like Snatcher and Omega CD and Rule of Rose, and those. Obviously, it's going to be expensive then, isn't it? But if you get those relatively cheap games or really cheap games, they're pretty decent tiles. It's not too bad. Anyway, let's get into it. I'll show you that footage now. Right, so yeah, on the many YouTube videos on quitting game collecting too expensive, luckily there doesn't seem to be as many videos on this now. The popularity of them videos have died down. If people want to quit collecting, that's fine, up to them. Been so many videos on YouTube about quitting, and don't bother, it's not worth it. I feel these videos are a little negative, and some are just plain clickbait, and they're not done. These videos are not great, just showing the negative side of retro collecting. I'm hoping that newcomers into this hobby don't get put off by all of them videos. This is such a great fun hobby to get into, and anybody can get into it. You don't have to be there for the launch of the consoles. I have an Atari 2600 7800, bit before my time, but that's fine. As long as you enjoy playing the consoles and collecting for it, you don't have to be of that generation to appreciate the console. This hobby is for everyone. Yes, there are expensive titles on all consoles, but so many games in between them that are affordable. I think a few collectors are stuck in the past with prices and expect things to still be cheap. I've been collecting retro for about 24 years now. I've seen all prices from when I first started, which, yes, was amazing. Picking up games, consoles at car boot sales for 50p, a pound, getting a big box of a mixture of consoles, mixture of wires, controllers, games, all for a fiver. Good times. But times have changed. More people are into this hobby now, and that's awesome. But the more people that collect, certain games will go up. There are way more people that care about this now, so prices have they're up there. I feel it's more on the titles that are popular, the titles that get all the attention, that are expensive, but there's so many games in between that are cheap, that I feel get overlooked. I feel retro gaming collecting isn't expensive. There are so many games that are still cheap and affordable. They're just not as popular, not as well known. You can still get great collection with great titles. There are cheaper consoles or handhelds to collect for. I recommend the Sega Mega Drive. You can get the console for £20–30 loose. Obviously it goes up even more if you want it boxed, and I've mentioned it before, you know, pick up the Mega Games, because there's quite a few games on them. I've got Mega Games 1 and 2, and that one's got Streets of Rage there, really good games, and 3. Yeah, you can start off with those. Obviously there's more Mega Games than those 3, but you can start off with those games, and they don't cost a whole lot, and you get 3 games on each cart, and they're really good games, and it's all you need to, you know, if you start off with. So yeah, yeah, I also recommend the PS2, because you have the best of both worlds. You can pick up cheap PS1 and PS2 games. Such a great console. I found a few cheap PS1, PS2 games in CEX. Research to find the best console for you. I find the cheapest consoles handhelds are PS3, Xbox 360, DS, Game Boy, Mega Drive, Atari 2600, Nintendo Wii, PS2, PS1, PS4, Master System. I'm sure there are more cheaper consoles than those, but yeah. Consoles that are relatively cheap are NES, SNES, N64, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, and then you got the more expensive consoles, Mega CD, 32X, Neo Geo, and GameCube, and I'm sure there's more expensive consoles than those. But yeah, research is a good idea if you want to start collecting. Take your time. What I may find cheap, you may not. We're all different. I have a limit on what I will pay depending on the title, so it's good to set yourself a budget and stick with it. Getting just carts only will help so much cheaper. If I started collecting now, I'd probably just get carts only for the Mega Drive. There are many other ways to play retro games. With the mini consoles, emulation, you can play a lot of retro games on the newer consoles, you know, like PS4 and that. There's lots of, you know, like the Atari collection, Mega Drive collection on there, and all that. There are conventions where you can check out retro consoles, games that are free to play, arcade cabinets and all that. Magic Whistle Gaming Brighton has a free to play bit in the market area. I think that's amazing. It gets newcomers into the hobby, and if you're thinking about retro collecting and not sure about it, you can try it out for free and see if it's your thing. Yeah, so that's everything. Yeah, thank you, and bye.